Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever language or time zone you are in, and welcome to the FF Randomizer Spring 2020 Tournament. I'm joined by my co-commentator, Ilmars Formula.
How you doing tonight, Dutch? Oh boy, we've got a good one. Game one between our 8 and 9 seeds, WillBloodworth and Cheezinator. WillBloodworth finished out 5-1, Cheezinator 4-2. This is going to be really good. Look at this party comp. This is fantastic. You can just guess how this draft went by looking at it. So
Absolutely.
Clearly, this was Will, being the higher seed, had the option to take it or defer. He defers to Cheese. Cheese leads off with red. Will, being Will, instantly says, you know what's coming, double thief time. Cheese comes out with the black belt at the end. This is going to be a good one.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what happens. I mean, I think we will definitely see Will Dan the black belt, but who knows? Who knows? But I know they're definitely hoping for an AoE out the gate with level 1 spells. Fingers crossed for if you want to see a short seed, or absolutely not if you want to see a long one.
Yeah, this is all going to be really dependent on those first couple levels of Magic. If they're going to have anything that's set up, that's ready for them to have any AoE. AoE items are going to be huge out the gate here. If we are stuck with nothing good to clear, we might be in for a little bit of a slog at the start. But boy, this endgame, with the amount of melee damage coming out, we're going to see some real quick fiend kills coming up, I think.
Absolutely, I think as well. I mean, every time I see a black belt, I'm just like, find a god tile, it's on and popping. So
yeah, that's it. If you get to 32, good things can happen. If you really want to be ultra aggressive, get that all the way up to 42. You've got the One Punch Man. WillBloodworth has named him that. Like you said, I don't know. He's a big thief. He's a big thief user. I doubt we're going to see that black belt alive on his side, but you never know what's going to happen. It'll really play out on how he's feeling. I think finding that grind tile early will be the definitive factor of whether he chooses to do it or not. So, lots of interesting things that'll be coming up to see which way they're going to be forced into what they're going to be doing here. But definitely we're going to be looking for a good AoE right out the gate, or we could be in for a little bit of a slog at the start.
absolutely, and keep in mind with these flag sets, there's also I believe Town Shuffle is in the mix. And are we looking at Tri-State as well in relation to certain things are incentivizing that?
Canoe and floater are there, so it's you never know where some of that stuff may end up being. But with these flags, we're running the 3.5 loose, as I like to say, the 3 guaranteed loose, that canal, which is somewhere in the inner sea. We've seen everything this so far. Everything from floaterless to jet seeds to you name it. So this can fall anywhere within that.
Absolutely. So it's going to be real interesting right out the gate to see what's on a pop. So hopefully in a few seconds, our runners will.
Yep, the gate has just dropped. We're going to be going here any second. We should be seeing this coming up, and we're going to be off right away. Like you said, Town Shuffle is on. First Town's always going to be Corneria. It's going to be big right out of this, though.
And we are off. So let's take a look at White Magic, and they've got exit and harm 4. That's not bad.
No, nothing to shake. Oh, Black Magic, not the best, though. Looking at Quake for AoE, the exit's fantastic. You've got some mobility things to do. Harm 4, great if you're having to do that fun place of Marsh with a lot of undead, but something reliable, a good reliable AoE is not to be seen right here. So we're going to have to see what ends up coming up out of the next few towns to see if we've got early Provoca or early Elfland to get the rest of it.
Absolutely. And I mean, just looking at the item shop, things don't look highly aggressive. Houses are about 2K, so that'll come into play a bit later. But right now, looks like Popping a quake, maybe we get a level or two. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, half decent run off the start. Nothing crazy, nothing awful. So,
see nuke imps right out the gate. That would just destroy you.
That's always the fun thing to see is when something like that happens. So, outside of that, we still got more. Both players took the fight right out the hop, gained their first level. They're going to keep moving on here. Cheese just about to enter in. Will dropping his tent, going in. Here we go, first chest, but pretty much step for step on this looks pretty similar. That coral sword. Hey, best thing here.
Anyway. Exactly. So, off the gate, that's definitely something. See, one of your thieves, if you're going to keep both of them, at least doing something. So,
yeah, definitely something that's useful for one of those thieves to be able to be thrown at this point in time. And there is the canal.
It's good to see. And 5K in money when at the gate you could do with a couple Ks. It's pretty decent to see. Hopefully we'll pop a cake and, Garland will be out the way and then on to 2 more items.
That Will making very smart use of that exit at level 1, able to just jump out and run straight into Garland. No cake for Garland, he's not interested in it on Will's side here. Cheese's side, he throws some cake, Garland's not interested in eating either. He is 100% on a diet at this point.
He's not having any of it. He's like, nope. Ooh, Cheezinator, however, slid him some cheesecake and was like, you know what, take a bite. He's done.
Well, Will follows up with it. He says, you know what? Oh, here we go. We've got ourselves a canoe and a cube. Not bad, not bad.
The whole world virtually. Without, the floater, of course. A lot of choices right out the gate. So hopefully we won't see a mirror image on both screens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, this opens up a heck of a lot of options at this point in time now. You have almost everything open to you outside of Lefane and Gaia. So, you have a lot of potential to be going to anywhere. So, route divergence, once they clear out the first couple towns here, I think, in the inner sea, route divergence definitely a possibility. So hopefully we're going to see some of that and be able to get some double barrel action and see which player could roll through the things a little bit quicker than the other, because these are two fantastic runners, so something good's gonna happen. WillBloodworth is walking. Oh no, he's just burning off an encounter.
Here we thought we was gonna take care of the bridge ball, so draws 1, WillBloodworth 0.
No. So he's already seems like he understands that there is a battle pretty quick, within about the first 15-20 steps. It looks like Will's already got a decent run handle on this early part of the encounter table. That can really pay dividends for him if he's able to save scum his way across a lot of this. And we see, everyone's favorite place. Provoca is Lefane, who cares next.
So that's unfortunate, but at least we have the information for the future. Always good to know.
Oh, but Elfland is Provoca, so here we're going to get a look here on Will's side at level 2 magic. Still looking for that big sweeper. We've got Fade. There it is.
There it is. And in the almighty level 2 slot, you can earn it for sure. Ooh, Warp as well. Not bad.
Warp Quad X. Ooh, that's
Warp Quad X Light Block 2, but I mean, with your Fade as your AoE, you can kind of just take a Warp and a Quad X, maybe a Lock 2 if you're feeling fancy.
Yeah, those Lock 2 can be really useful in the end game, but when you're running 2 thieves, when you're running 2 thieves, you can throw that Lock 2 onto those thieves if you really need to at that point, because he went with the Quad X, which is going to be more beneficial in the early game so that Red Mage can use it, and leaving it available for those ninjas once he class changes for Lock 2 for Temple of Fiends. That's a really smart play.
You're quite right about that. So Hopefully they'll remember that for the future as Will takes care of Bicky the pirate. Let's see what we get. Ruby.
Well, it looks like we're gonna be heading west out of the canal. Gonna go feed the addicted. Go feed the addiction.
It's gotta be done. Munch, munch, munch.
Cheese not far behind at all either. Here he's just faded down his pirates. He's gonna pick up his ruby. I have a hard time thinking anyone's gonna be thinking the incredibly big brain, massive gamble marsh play. I highly doubt that's coming, but come on, someone surprise me.
I mean, you never know. Never know. But I mean, this early out the gate, it just seems like you want to follow the logic real quick. Turn in another incentive item, so you have the capacity to go out. It just seems like the move you would make.
Oh yeah, you totally follow it. It's just every now and then you just wonder someone who's gonna gamble. Melmond is Melmond.
Melman. No.
Poor Melmond. It always is in a bad spot.
Life at the level 3 spot. Is that Red Mage Honorable?
Yeah, that's one of those things that I swear I have said this like 10 times where I'm like, I'm gonna eventually memorize where the heck all of the Red Mage and Red Wizard learnable slots are. I still haven't done it.
I haven't done it either, mate. It's one of those things. It's like homework. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm the world's biggest procrastinator when it comes to that stuff.
I'll do it at the last minute.
Yeah, what's that? My assignment's due in an hour? Plenty of time.
Exactly. As we see Cheezinator go in to dwarves, nothing there but money. A soft.
So, quick check, not a bad idea, especially knowing, being smart using that canoe. It really only takes a couple of steps, nothing big. Hope for something good to come out of it. Unfortunately, didn't pay off, but money is always good. Can't complain with extra cash.
Exactly.
Here, WillBloodworth is going to feed the addiction, because that's what we do here in FFR. We're very not helpful.
Absolutely. Let's see what's down here. It's Sarda today.
The old man hanging on to a wind chime. Well, we have both chime and cube already, and have that dock with open progression there. Sky, 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 sky. Oh, Crab Cakes is on it already.
I mean, sometimes you should. I mean, it's not a matter of you should, because Rando gonna Rando. But sometimes the logic is speaking to you, Okay.
Yeah. You've got Phage, you've got Exit, you've got Warp. You have a lot of opportunities to get thing in and out. You've got Harm 4 if there are vampires that are early on in that. There's possibilities to deal with things. And never mind, there's our early floater. So
it looks like that's out the window. But I was feeling what you were saying though in regards to that. I mean, like, there are a lot of opportunities, even though you're low level, to find a god tile in there and then grind to pieces.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
That's also an option. You are walking past Earth here. You have a black belt. I doubt Will would, but doing a grind tile check in Earth right now, you may not play it, but just getting some knowledge might be something that Cheese looks at doing here, because I suspect if anyone's going to keep that black belt alive, it's going to be Cheese.
I agree with you.
I'm surprised that black belt's even still alive on Will's side.
I mean, it's interesting though. Now that you have, he's only just hitting level 5, and now that you find a floater, that kind of gives thought to think it's of two ways, right? You're either going to be in a jet seed or you're going to be in a slog looking for that one chest, some arbitrary place, right? So, given that those odds while you're playing, it kind of leads me to be like, I'm going to leave my characters up just in case. If you run into everything 45 minutes in, boom.
Yeah, I think they're looking to see if looking to see what plays out in the next couple levels. I think, especially when you're making those decisions on who you're going to Dan, if you want black magic later or whatever, you want to check out finding that level 3-4 magic at Elfland is always really, really nice. Before you make that decision, you'll have because with this party, you're pretty much looking at first 4 levels of magic are the only ones that are going to be really reliable. You might have a cast of something else here or there. And speaking of,
And there goes Elfland.
Crescent's Elf. So here we go, black magic level 3. Oh, fast and tempered.
Tempered. That's not the greatest thing to see on the same slot, especially with only one red mage. But at the same time, you can level up those ninjas. They'll be able to, split between them. So
yeah, that's one of those things at least the ninjas can learn those so they can cast them on themselves. It'll take the extra turn. You wish that could be split a little bit, but it's not the worst situation. It's better than not having either of them available to you.
I find it interesting Will just bounced after checking out level 3, not even giving any credence to level 3 for white magic for the mage.
Yeah, didn't check level 4, didn't Ghost Guardian gets a white shirt. That's a nice pickup.
You could be thinking just in relation to, look, if I got the floater this early, my opponents got the floater super early, so Gold Cheerio as well. Maybe I should do something out of the box. Obviously, just going to check chests like they're doing now is definitely out of the box.
So. I think this may also be a cash play. I think he's hoping that he can get all the money he needs, so he can, when he goes to Elfland, he can check all the shops, buy everything he needs outside of just class changing, because the probability to do that is not really likely at this point in time unless we find a loose tail right here in Cardia. But he probably wants cash. He's looking for cash to buy everything he can one time through.
That's a good point. You're probably right about that. Unfortunately, not finding anything between 9 gold.
Well, I mean, gold bracelet, nice. Silver bracelet, whatever, but nothing spectacular outside of that white shirt, really. That's really
white shirt. And a ribbon. Never mind.
Cardia's got something.
Ribbon and a cap.
Yeah, the 2 sweetest pieces of headgear.
Exactly. Now all we have to do is find Almighty Lamp, and we are on and popping for the
Yeah, I'm a big believer in Lamp, because you never know when you get hit with that dark, and it takes your accuracy down that 2 points, and you lose a hit.
Oh, just having Lamp and then just lamping on chaos and when it matters is the best feeling in the.
Oh yeah.
I lamped, bro. Holla at me.
So we just saw a vendor item key.
11K, that's not that expensive, to be honest. Selling a gold Cheerio this early. Ooh, the Opal armor, yeah.
Yeah, Opal armor can't do nothing for you. Don't got no fighters. He's really hoping he had enough cash to be able to do it, but he's going to be just short of being able to buy that.
Just fine. Step outside a bit, do a couple grind, grind a little bit, get some cash, 2 or 3 battles should do it.
Yeah, he literally needs $2,000, not even right now. He's just got to go outside and fight anything.
Exactly. As we see on Cheezinator's side, they are in a tile fading away, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he's taking a few fights around here right now, so he's grinding those levels, and he's kept that one thief dead, so he's getting around 3-man, it looks like, with thief, black belt, red, so something we probably suspected would happen. Pretty standard when you have 2 thieves to do that.
Definitely. And both everyone's down except for the red mage, and up with the fade. Got some good cash as well.
That's a fantastic place for Elfland to be right outside of with Crescent, because just outside of Crescent there is such a fun little grind spot. There's so many good things to pick up. are good battles to pick up for cash and for experience right outside of that Crescent Lake area. There's 3 different encounter zones sitting right outside that Crescent area. So if you find anything good off a power cycle, you can really get a good grind going out there.
Exactly. Right now, Will is buying his keys, so it looks like he will most likely be off to go do some key checks, which is pretty smart.
Yeah, he's trying to get a lot of the out of the checks that aren't dungeon checks done as best as possible. He's done Cardia. He's probably going to do all those keylog chests, and then also that way, if he does have to dive any dungeon, God forbid he's got to go Marsh, or we've seen it before, TFC. You know, he can check that stuff while he's already there. He's gonna do Waterfall. He's got Warp or Exit. This is a pretty easy check. Get through a couple of fights, get some decent experience. Like, these Paralisks are fantastic fights. Oh, it's unfortunate he doesn't take them though. Not enough.
I mean, Will's definitely got that one good God run, you know, from earlier we saw in the sea, so I don't necessarily dispute doing those power cycles. Running into mud goals, all but running away.
And Cheese has gone in the eastern direction here, staying in that Crescent area. He's gone right into Volcano. So we've got some big route divergence here early. We're going to see which one is going to pay off first and maybe give the other one. Oh, this is a good grind tile to keep in the back of the mind. Here we've got the sandwich station.
Yep. It don't seem to be that beefy as well, so.
Oh, that's one for in the early game. That's not a take you to 32. Oh, we've got an herb on Will's side from the robot, but that's not a take you to 32. But if you wanted to go to 22, 24,
exactly,
real quick, the sandwich station is a good go for that.
It looks like that's what Cheezinator is doing, which is a pretty good play right now. And I mean, you know, now it's coming into that point where is it going to be the battle of incentives actually are the key method, or is Cheezinator going to actually play out with grinding and loot chests? So an interesting, you know, split screen dilemma.
Will got pretty much only that herb out of there, nothing else. Tigers with cremate because they just want to be little bits of jerks. We'll see where he goes now. Is he going to chase the herb? Is he going to do some key checks? I suspect he'll probably, with that key in hand, probably do both and start making his way through the key lock chests while turning in that herb at Elfland.
That would just seem like the logical decision. We've still got Cheezinator grinding away.
Yeah, he's running the 2-man here now too, so this is going to be a... Yeah, it looks like he's going to be running this 2-man for a good little bit, which isn't a bad play. If you can get that black belt up early, like this isn't a huge 32 tile, but it's definitely a low 20 tile, and that can carry you a good chunk of the early game.
Absolutely, and with that red mage on Fade at level 2, you're going to get a good amount of charges of that just going through this line. So this is a good play because afterwards, if you do it right, you step outside, burn a house if you have one real quick, and go downstairs, bang on carry real quick. Next thing you know, you've got an orb, and also you check the chest along the way.
So nothing good came out of Dwarf. He's going to make his way now to northwest. Check the key locks here. I suspect he'll also check the trap tiles here, see if there's anything worth his time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things you pretty much have to do, right? Money. Heirs.
Yeah, no one likes heirs. Wyvern's not that good either.
Oh, excuse me, one second.
So following up these, now Will's gonna walk around though. Following up with this, he's gonna go turn in this herb and then check out the chests here. So while Cheezinator continues the 2-man grind, Will turns in, and there's that early tail. So I think that means with early tail, we are about to see the black belt kiss the dirt on Will's side, and I think he's gonna run Thief Red.
You're probably right about that with that early tail, and plus you have some good options on level 2 and 3 in terms of the black magic. So
Yeah, you've got good early magic. You've got for the first 3-4 levels that we've seen. He's in a good spot if he wants to run 3-man and tell that black belt to take it easy. The other three have it. Oh, and a katana.
Wow, that's a godsend for him right there. So as if he was definitely going to do anything else, along with a pro ring, some money, and this is definitely the move now. So I mean, right now we definitely see two different strategies, which is really good to see from perspective, right? Because Will's definitely just going to keep following the chain. Probably go and promote at some point, and then they'll do a nice shop, and then from there, probably start hitting some dungeons.
Yeah, he's going to be set up where he's not going to be grinding. He's not going to be doing a black belt grind whatsoever. He's not going to spend the time on it. He's already moving that black belt up to the front to die. It's over for him. One Punch Man, you will not come to fruition this turn in this seed.
All right, Taikama-san.
Fortunately,
looks like
the air
aren't playing.
No one can.
Gargoyles, was that damage poison?
I missed it. I watched Will get beat. Oh, and these airs are super ambushy too. They ambushed him both times.
Crystal on Cheezinator's side, loose in volcanoes. That's definitely
nice. There's our first loose.
He's already going at 4 hits, level 17 now. This is so cool to see just from our perspective, right? Because I mean, depending on how, we haven't seen anything, I guess, super scary in the pool, right? In terms of, nukes, nuclears, etc. It's really going to come down to, are levels going to be beast moding, or is just getting chests and equipment beast moding?
Yeah, that's definitely is the grind that Cheezinator doing going to be absolutely required. And after Will finally manages to escape, he got $6 for his time and doesn't even bother dealing with the ambushy airs for the 2 chests at the top. He absolutely nopes out of that and goes straight to promote. So here we go, katana time.
Ooh, so we've got some peds on Cheezinator's side. Got away from that fire with Blizzard, which is good. And they aren't packing that much HP. So after a fade and a swing, your peds are going down.
That's a great little. That's a miss, and he picked up a sun sword as well. A fantastic pickup.
Already coming into play, so now you can start using those level 3, level 4 slots slightly liberally. But they got stun time.
Yeah, Undead doing annoying undead things. Will's gonna check this grind pile. I assume he's looking to. I think this is a kill. Oh boy, that bad. Oh boy, these bad men.
Arms.
Oh no, Will took an extra step. Now, I think he was checking that tile. I think he also wanted that, black belt dead, and now he's got that info that the worms are there. Big money chest and some sort of sword for Cheezinator. Yeah, if Cheese finds that tile in Earth, that's your 32, or if you want 42 tile right there with those worms.
You got the rod from Toya.
Well, might be heading over to Earth now.
Wouldn't be a bad play. You can check chests there, and then, as we said, that grind tile we know is there, so they're going to serve his 2-man party good use to go and that up, but we'll see what they do. They finally get their white shirt, and they're going to clean out the Cardi Isles.
Yeah, Crabcake's pointing out in chat that those bad men hit really hard, but Will, I don't think, has a lot of good armor of anything. He's got a gold bracelet on one person. but those bad men are definitely doing some horrible, horrible things.
He's got a ribbon, because he picked one up in the cardio house from I remember.
Yeah, he's got that, but the ribbon, as great as it is, not exactly the absorb that you're looking at to help reduce any sort of physical. Great with everything else.
Right about that.
So she's clearing out the cardio aisles. We've seen what's in here. Nothing's, he's about to get his ribbon and that. He already got his white shirt. Meanwhile, on Will's set, clearing out the first floor of Earth. He really doesn't have a lot of levels yet. I think at some point he's going to have to make some sort of conscious decision to start fighting something.
Yeah, you're right about that. Because even the Red Wizard doesn't have that many charges yet. Start using stuff liberally, so they're gonna have to do something. And Cheezinator is catching up in that, as they start moving around, they're gonna have enough money to automatically buy the vendor items, so they won't have to spend too much time. They'll be able to get the bottle, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah, I mean, Cheese's cash situation and his level situation at this point is really, really good. It's really going to be about him getting once that black belt, and if he's running 2-man the whole way through, as soon as he finds that worm tile, if those worms are squishy at all, you're going to see a 42 black belt real fast.
they buy the key. I'm sure they'll probably do the same play as Will and take care of Waterfall while they're here as well. Will is gonna go to Volcano, so this is gonna get Crystal, or not. Actually, they heard me commentating and they was like, nah.
He's gonna go pick up the spells. Wait, I have money now. I can do this. Or no.
Life 2 at level 6, so that's good to know. Cheezinator promote.
Yeah, but I do believe that's not learnable, but so no life for you. He's picking up his fast and temper on his ninja. Picking up all his spells. I know it was Cure 4 was somewhere in here. That's Red Mage learnable as well.
Yep. Some heal pots. Maybe a house or two.
Get a bunch of cabins. He spent a lot of real estate, and like we were saying earlier, he seems to have a really good grasp on the encounter table. He's already shown that he's found a pretty decent run after 2 or 3 encounters. He's got a pretty good feel for it, so he's been very, very liberal with his real estate on the overworld.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to make his way through here to Waterfall, get his herb, which will turn into a tail. Now, it's interesting for Cheese. He's not class changing anytime in the near future, I don't think. Not till that black belt's already at minimum 42, if he's not going to take it all the way to 42 with 2-man. I would think with 2-man, he's going 42, though.
I mean, there's really no reason not to. To sacrifice the M-Dev for 2-man, you're right. You're just going to balloon. It would be great knowledge to have in the back of your mind, knowing as soon as you're done grinding, you can the tail and then just go. Go to any dungeon I find, clear it out, destroy.
Yeah, there are not many things. There are not many things that hold up very well to a 42 black belt bringing the heat.
All Nintendo power strats.
This is why the correct answer is always black belt.
Absolutely. Will's finally done his shopping. Looks like he'll probably go back to Vault.
I'm not even the commentator, but the answer is not always black belt.
That is debatable.
So So, going here, finishing out, Will into Volcano, checking some things out, got some peds, which we know don't have a lot of HP.
Got bonk already. Oh. And Will gets away, not necessarily unscathed. Cheese gets his herb.
It seems Will's really intent on taking out those peds and coming back. Seriously, his levels aren't the best at this point, so he needs to be killing some things to getting levels, and peds are pretty good for exp. They help out. They can buff you up pretty quick.
XPs as we like. Those are unrunnable, so.
Yeah, I mean, forced food, but it's a good kind.
And peeing some crack.
Things that live in the ground, susceptible to falling into the ground.
And the logic is impeccable.
I always love that about Lich. It's like, I'm the greatest fiend of Earth. You fell into the earth. Damn it.
Shout out to Nasir. Boss wolves aren't packing anything scary, which is good. I've seen definitely a few of these seeds where they were packing some scary stuff. Thunders, swirls, snooks. Don't like to see.
Frost wolves seem to be one of those things that, for whatever reason, they always seem to roll something awful. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just feel like there are certain enemies that always just seem to have your number for something. Meanwhile, on Cheese's side, makes a walk to Lafane. Will's taking a stop at the sandwich station here. Made his walk to Lafane here. We've got our bottle. Wait, no, does he have it? Yeah, he got his bottle already. Yeah, he's got his bottle. He's gonna pop that open. We're gonna see what the tiny fairy has for us.
We've seen a lot of, progression. So at this point, I'm thinking we might run into, not necessarily a dud, but a power bulk or something like that. But
yeah. See, there we go. It was bound to happen.
Exactly. Can't go wrong, though. It's definitely going to be one on the red mage, and Opal Cheerio, do the work.
Not a bad thing to have, great armor for him, best thing that he can wear. It's pretty good. Helps him to keep a little more tanky. I mean, at this point, pretty much all you're hoping for is for your red mage, to stay alive just for a little bit, so that way all it takes is a couple of punches, and your black belt can knock everything down.
Will is still at the sandwich station, which is good to see. Also employing two-man strats. So we've got some interesting two-man strats here. The high crit of the katana, which will allow Will to, not necessarily have to grind as high as Cheezinator. But at the same time, Cheezinator is going to find, reassurance at like level 36. Nothing can. So.
Yeah, this is... with the fixes that have been put into this randomizer, with Thief Ninja getting double hit growth and such, their stats and the amount of hits that they can put out are fantastic. they can do some serious damage with a katana in hand. They're getting 7 swings fairly early. That's a lot of opportunities for big crits to be coming in, while Cheese turns in his herb and getting his tail. I doubt he's going to do that at this point in time. He's going to want to finish up with grinding that black belt. For him, he needs to ironically go, if he can, anywhere. Checking Earth would be fantastic, because like I said, we don't know the status of those worms. They could be horrible and they just might not be grindable. But if he finds them and can test them out and they're somewhat weak, that would be a great little pickup. You're going to see a 42 black belt quick then.
It would be great to go from sandworms to the OG worms and then just find them both of those.
Yeah, the worms aplenty here to potentially be what you need to get you all the levels you want. Pro rings there were at Elflin, which was Provoca. Really cheap, fantastic for him to remember that they were there. We saw gold rings as well somewhere. They were only like 12k, so you're looking at like 19k for gold ring, pro ring setup. Oh, here we go. So Cheese, he's just unequipped everything from his red mage. He has moved the red mage up to the front. He's tile hunting now. He is looking somewhere that he can grind this black belt up.
If he doesn't find anything, we know here's the grass.
Nah, nothing special here.
Just some errors, and nobody wants to fight errors. So this might lead him actually to Earth, because we all know that Earth is the original grind tile. Shout out to Iron Goals.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the multiple, right there on the first floor, you've got 3 different grind tiles that are available to you. It makes a lot of sense to be checking them out. You have the 2 in the Hall of Giants, the 1 there that is the natural Earth trap tile, so it's a really good place. More than likely where he's headed in the very, very near future.
Yep.
Well, it looks like he's done eating sandwich. He's decided that it's time to do something else. Maybe it was just, no, he's going to finish clearing out some chests now. With the levels he's got here, though, I suspect he's going to be going all the way down to the bottom and probably killing Carrie at this time.
I would do that as well. Got the 2 men, he went out, he popped a house, so, and getting that loose crystal.
So
errors.
There's those super ambushy airs that are guarding a whole $6 here. We don't know what's in the top chests. Will never got a chance to check these, so these are going to be something new. Let's really, really hope that this is nothing that's going to come back to bite Will. Because these will be absolute last checks, if there's anything here. Will do. Yeah, that is just ambush after those things ambush rates through the roof. Oh no, it is 2.
Wow. And now by oof.
That is a major lead for Cheese.
It absolutely is.
I mean,
if you're watching this,
yeah,
there's the reason why you get all chests at all times.
He was level 6. He kept getting bounced by those super ambushy airs like 3 times in a row just to get those 6 gold. Orphan those 2 chests. Oh man, it's gonna take a real big brain play early to say, I need to go check those key locks, but that's gonna be so close. I think that's gonna be a real long time before he realizes that those are where it's at. And after all this, looks like we're going to get some hand-holding here going into the bottom part of Volcano. Cheese joining Will here. He's already cleared out this second floor, so he's going to be making a break to the bottom.
So how many loose is that we've seen so far? Seen the Oxiel, and we've also seen the
Oxyale, Crystal, and Canal that we've seen already.
Oh. So we still got one more out there loose, right?
Yeah, there's one loose sitting out there somewhere that if Will can find in an odd place that maybe Cheese doesn't think to check, but if it's anywhere that's sort of in the, in your path or in your standard routing, boy, that's going to be real unfortunate, because Cheese is going to find that it's going to have to be a cheat. Oh man, but even the cheeky checks like TFC or Mermaids are Oxyale blocked.
You have the key, so it's like, right, even those cheeky chests, like, you just know that Cheezinator has the capacity to do it.
About the only way that, or Marsh, I was thinking, is maybe does Will make a really big gamble and say, I'm gonna go Marsh, and he finds like a loose loot there. That's what he needs to hope for.
That's true. That's what he needs to hope for. But given the play style, 40 minutes into the seed, Aegis Shield. That's given the play style into this far into the seed, it looks like Will's just going to try to follow progression at this point, which is definitely not at all, right? That's what you want to do. It's just unfortunate that Oxia will not be in your ice cave. It's not going to be, in other places where it's going to be a slog checking chests. It's not going to be in Sky. Not going to be in greater than less than. So,
yeah, the only way that Will can make some of this back is either A, directly after this, he says, I've got the levels, I really need to go check those 2 chests I left, and then he's not far, he's right back in this. Or if he makes an incredibly bold gamble and says, you know what, I've checked all these key lock chests, I haven't checked Marsh, I'm going to Marsh.
That's it. As we see Cheezinator, the single black belt, getting some, this is actually a pretty good play. Even though they're sandworms and they do start to level out at around 26, with just the one man, it's not a bad play.
No, and it's a little surprising that he didn't. It's a little surprising that he didn't check, since he had checked the tiles in Northwest. He was right there to check those tiles in Earth. I'm surprised he didn't, but he knew that this was here. It's a free. There's our last loose item. We just had a Thor pickup. So
wow.
That's
massive.
That's really unfortunate, because that means that progression is going to come through some of the. Yeah, this is going to be either through, we haven't seen ordeals, we haven't seen ice caves, so one of those is going to lead to power bonk, and the other one is going to eventually lead to loot, plus whatever TNT, adamant, slab, crown shenanigans come in between that. But that means Will is going to have to absolutely galaxy brain thinking that he needs to go back to check those 2 chests he missed.
Only time Will has right now is the fact that Cheese is grinding, but it's unfortunate from our perspective in that Cheese is in the exact same dungeon that Will found, the last loose item. And once Cheese finds it, they know it's the last loose item. So
he doesn't have to check another chest after this. He's going to pull that Thor's hammer. He's going to know, I either have to go through progression in Ice Cave, or I have to go through progression in Ordeals, and that's it. I don't have to check anything else I don't want to. And with a 42 black belt and you've already got 1 ribbon, you're really not going to care too much about checking for equipment. You've already got a sun sword and an opal bracelet on that red mage. What more are you going to need?
Nothing.
Second ribbon here pickup by Will. Right here in the red D chest, we had a ribbon pickup.
I mean, that would be nice, but given exactly what we just talked about, you want that second ribbon, right? But with the pro ring, the opal, the opal Cheerio set up on the red mage, you'll be fine. Plus, they have access to life. Not life 2, but they still have access to life.
Yeah, so we know, as I said, Bonk and Loot are going to come out of Ice and Ordeals. There's a bunch of fetch quests in between. There's Adamant, TNT, Crown, and Slab that are left. But however it plays out in whatever direction, the end result is one's going to lead to one and one will lead to the other in Bonk and Bonk and Loot. Bonk and Loot.
Talking is hard.
Yeah, it is. So and with that right here at the 46:15 mark, Will has downed. Carrie has lit his first orb. Cheezinator is going to keep doing this grind. He's already at 32. He got out. He saved. Now this is going to be big. Will is right next door. I mean, right next door to Temple of Fiends. Will he go north? This will be an absolutely deciding moment.
I'm sitting here sweating for Will right now. This is
if he doesn't pick this up at this moment, Cheese is going to be 100% go mode off to the races with a 42 black belt that's going to stomp everything and not gonna need to open another chest.
And
he's doing it. This
is still a race, people. Woo! Oh my goodness. And he's going to the chest. Oh my goodness. Now this is a race.
That is a very, very smart play to remember that he left these.
Once he sees this Oxyel, it's one of those things that you wish you could spend the time, just go to Hooray Dwarf. You know?
Oh yeah, this is 100% a Hooray Dwarf. He's gonna... I bet when he was sailing or flying over this, he was like, I really don't need to check this, do I? And when he sees this, he now knows he's in go mode. He's got all his loose now at this point in time.
He's got 2 ribbons.
Yeah, he's got 2 ribbons. I doubt Cheese is going to find that second ribbon. He's not going to check Red Dragon chest. Once he's got his grind, I doubt he's going to look at anything other than a couple of green chests.
This is really going to come down to ideology of this.
Yeah. Is Temple of Fiends going to require a 42 black belt or not? If it doesn't, you know, Will's in the lead. If there's a big roadblock, then that 42 black belt comes in real handy. But if he doesn't, it's Topher.
Turning that tail as well, because if they're going to go to 42, you're not going to furlough, you know, that's shame.
Yeah, this is going to be real. And the other thing too is just in general, Cheese is going to have a lot easier time clearing things out when it comes to killing fiends or even annoying unrunnables, and that this black belt is just going to mash everything. So,
absolutely.
You know, this is really going to be how many unrunnables and things like that may slow Will down, and if there's a big roadblock sitting in Topher.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Cheese hitting level 40, so getting real close. You get those 10 hits, it's time to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's once a black belt hits 48, their MDef is a ribbon.
Wow.
Yeah, the natural MDef growth, I believe at 48 equals out like right to a ribbon. So he had 41, I think, there. He's going to get the...
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to get his 42 within just walking around for variable.
Absolutely.
You know, the unrunnable fights and things like that he's going to hit.
Hammer. Now it is a few floors down. I believe, was it in the Agamataro?
I don't think it was. Yeah, it was. I think it was the top chest of Agama tile that had that thorn. And ribbon 3 found for Will, completely extra, but he'll take it. Now that is something Cheese is most likely going to get, though. That's a free check when you're doing a warp trick here.
So that's good to see. Cheese will get ribbon. So
yeah. So at the very least, Cheese is gonna have 2. Yeah, he got what he needed. He got his TNT. I wonder if he's gonna chase this down. I think I would. I want to know, because if you can chase this down and you go through everything, you might not ever have to go to ordeals then.
Fair enough. That's a good one.
If whatever this long quest chain is turns out to be your loot, you're in go mode. Here you go. You don't even have to worry about doing ordeals. You don't have to do anything.
He going back to Volcano? Oh no, this just completely reversed.
Yeah, now Cheese doesn't finish out the bottom of Volcano to find that last loose. Huh. Now we know that this could end up being the right thing to follow out, but it's that knowledge of knowing you don't have to open another chest. It's very surprising he'd spend all that time there and not finish it out and kill Carrie.
It's completely reversed from just maybe 7 minutes ago, where we were like, oh yeah, Cheese is gonna be ending lead and Will is just oof. And now Will's got the lead certain. That's just what the moves are making.
Yeah, question in chat, which has been answered by Jonathan Yoshi there. What's loose down there? It's the Thor Hammer, which isn't anything special except for the fact that that's the last loose item. That gives us the knowledge to know that progression must lie within either ice or ordeals. We don't know which one. One of the will end. There's a bunch of fetch quests in between, but one of them will end up with the loot, and the other will end up with the power bonk.
That is correct. Cheese is gonna get there second. Along with the TNT, and I'm hoping they Galaxy Brain this as well. You just go back to Volcano real quick and just figure that out.
He's dipping out. He's not even gonna. So Cheese is gambling. I think at this point, Cheese is gambling that what he needs is going to come from incentive. That he's not even gonna bother looking through chests. That's gotta be what he's doing. And the next part of the fetch quest leads to Crown. There's still an adamant and a slab that could potentially be in the way of finding out what this all leads to. There's that adamant. We'll head back north now. But first, Astos wants to say hello. Oh, please let the black belt punch. Please let the black. Oh, take that, Astos. I'm the Dark Elf King. What the heck is that? Meanwhile, while this is all going on and Cheese is clearing everything out here, and it leads to the power bonk. So,
alright, so dead end, so you gotta check chest.
No, we've got Ordeals, which means Ordeals is holding the slab, and the Lupa Lupa people sitting in Provoca are holding onto the loot. So Cheese, this is going to pay off for Cheese, although I'm sure in his head right now, this is probably making him sweat a bit. Oh, he accidentally quick reset out of a T-Rex.
At this point, I feel like he's just trying to grind. He's just going to find some ridiculous, something unrunnable in Sky, so I'd run over too.
Yeah. But still, I think he probably would want to take it to get some levels on his other characters, specifically that thief. Meanwhile, we've got Will's taking on Kraken. Got a hit for 230. Got a fade for 240. So already like 450 into this guy. An 88 swing with the katana. Down goes Kraken.
Second orb. 5 minutes in, 50 seconds.
Yeah.
He's not NPC guillotine. Oh boy, so.
So here he's gonna make his way down to Lafane, which was Gaia. He's gonna get his bottle, which is gonna turn out to be the opal bracelet. Not what he wants to see, but you know, we know that Cheese is making the final play that he needs to right now, working his way through the pillar maze. That he's gonna get his slab out of this, and that's gonna turn into his loot, which is gonna put him in go mode here.
And it all depends there from once he's in go mode. Oh, did we just see a lamp?
We did. We saw a level 7 lamp.
Oh my. We'll tell everyone get your emotes out in chat for lamp. But
it's gotta be lamp love out there. It's the best spell in the game.
Exactly. Even if it costs me 50K, I'm doing it every time, baby. Race, nothing serious.
Checking out the rest of the chests here. Meanwhile, Will getting his opal bracelet from the fairy down below. She was hanging on to some nice jewelry down there that she found at the bottom of this little well.
He's getting pro cape and money, and the slab.
So he's gonna go chase this down, but if you're Cheese, you're probably sweating just a little bit right now because he's banking 50-50 because he doesn't have the knowledge that it's Thor Hammer, and he's thinking to himself, oh please God, don't let this be the Thor Hammer, please don't be the Thor Hammer.
So our hearts as viewers, is at least mine as a commentator, is going up and down, just the way the seed has, and I can't wait to interview. We're lucky enough these runners at the end. This has been a crazy seed just to watch unfold.
Yeah, like we said, there was a time where Will looked like he could have been miles behind, missing those 2 chests, the one with the Oxyale in there, and then all of a sudden Galaxy braining that, and then Cheese leaving that 4th loose open, which turns out not to bite him in the butt. I mean, there were so many little things that could have happened that would have been, well, that could have absolutely turned it either way. But this is really going to come down to is there a roadblock somewhere? Because now once Cheese goes into go mode, he's got a big boy punching everything out of the way real fast. Boy oh boy, Will's gotta hope nothing slows him down, or Cheese is gonna zoom right past him.
Good point, because I mean, you know, another thing as well, outside of just the hit capacity, I mean, that black belt or the master, if they get to it, is going to pack in HP, so it's going to be able to survive multiple nukes, nuclear.
Yeah, it's going to be able to live through almost any and everything. And there we go. He's got his loot. He's in go mode. He knows he doesn't have to check anything. Cheese is going to start the very quick descent through all of these 4 Fiend dungeons. Will's got a 2 Fiend lead at this point, but he's got to hope that he can keep up this pace because coming up, the freight train is coming up behind him now.
Exactly. This is a great party composition right now with the way the spells played out and everything. This is looking great for Cheese because equipment-wise, you don't need anything. You have the thief to run away from just annoying spells. All you have to do is just crush.
Yeah, I mean, Will still has to do ordeals, which is about about a dungeon extra. So he's really got about a 1 orb, a 1 dungeon lead or so. But that amount is going to close so quickly with what it is. He's got the knowledge, he knows it's ordeals, he knows he has to go there. but he still has to do it. It's still time. And every second that he has to do, oof, that's time the freight train's closing in.
Exactly, as Cheese is already on carry forward, though.
Yeah, Cheese is going to be rolling real quick through this.
Cure Force to go.
No, Silverfire, he did do ice. He got the TNT. He just hasn't turned the TNT in yet. And if you want to see our Overlord and Master, Robot Chicken, now's your time. Get those plus RNGs out in chat. WillBloodworth hitting on the bridge.
As we see Cheezinator going for 15 hits, 1,500 damage. Praise done.
Yeah. Have a seat, carry. It was nice knowing you. So Will still has to fall. If Will chooses to follow the quest chain of the TNT to crown to adamant, that'll eat up a little bit of time, and then he's still got to do ordeals. But he's got about a dungeon leader. So, but like we said, this is going to be so close. They're going to be probably a minute difference entering Topher.
Absolutely.
Will pulling Tiamat here, throwing out the fast, but of course the ninja attacks first before... Oh no, the fast went off. I'm blind. Ignore me. I'm just so used to randomizer order saying, yeah, you don't get to do this first.
And Tia was packing a little bit under 1,000 HP, and so WillBloodworth. 3 orbs lit and a chain quest to go.
Yeah, this is all going to be about what he chooses, the order in which he chooses, and the time it takes to do it. This is so close. So meanwhile, Cheese making his way through this. Going to be running into something.
Yeah, I mean, right now, what is this? Oh, never mind.
There's 42. There's the big number. The black belt is fully jacked and ready to rock. Will going straight to ordeals, not chasing down the TNT. He's not going to play through on that. Now it'll be interesting to see which order he does this in. Will he chase the TNT and then follow that? Will he go straight to the slab? So there's still the potential he can lose a little bit of time here or there with it, but he knows that one of these is going to lead to the other, so he's just going to be routing all of it in together as fast as possible.
He's coming across, a few packs, but that thief is definitely getting away.
Yeah, this is 100% a geographic check. This is vicinity. This is a vicinity thing. Yeah, and that's the other thing too, as Reese points out, our wonderful tracker, is that if this ends up being loot straight out, then he doesn't even have to chase anything either. You're right there, you've got warp, it's a pretty quick dungeon to get through it. So he's just waiting to see if he has to chase anything. We know he does, so it'll be interesting to see which one he chooses to chase first. Meanwhile, Lich gets absolutely obliterated 2,000 years into the past. The 10 hits 1,600.
1,600. Jesus, like, tail? What tail? I don't know, mate.
I definitely don't need no tail. This is... It's not required. You got a 42 black belt. That is the level up tail.
That's it. 42 black belt with Cure 4 is pretty much as good as Life 2 and, level 1.
It looks like Will's a little turned around here in this maze at this point. Oh, there he goes. He's figured it out.
Oh, there we go.
Alright, so here we go. We are essentially fetch quest versus pretty much one dungeon difference at this point. Will's got three orbs down, just needs to finish out Earth after this. Cheese just has to go over and take care of Tiamat, which we know wasn't holding much. This is gonna be so close coming down to the wire here.
I mean, for those watching who, I mean, I didn't participate in this tournament, but those watching just to get some, some strats on tournament play, this is actually a very, very good match to study, just in terms of the ideologies, how to pull off a very successful black belt grind, how to actually run a successful thief party. I mean, everything was open to you as well. So, I mean, early on, they had the floaters, so they were able to go places. It was just a matter of understanding the logic that's given to you and then your party and the spells and whatnot to play. So,
yeah, and if there's ever something, is having good notes, because this was literally one mischeck away from Will from missing those two checks in Temple of Fiends. This could be a very different race. And that was incredible knowledge by Will, showing his veteran skill and his ability to play this game, to remember that, knowing those chests were there, and that there's always a chance that when you have this many loose items, you've got 3 loose, you can never afford to leave any stone unturned.
Customary fast, just in case the old dark doesn't get off.
Oh, good Jesus. Kraken gets erased that many years into the past that he was punched for.
Would you like some calamari, sir?
That stuff's a little smashed up. That'd be about as good sushi as I would make right there. This look like it's all haggard and beat up.
We've got Will going to actually follow the slab, which is good for him. And Cheese will be hitting Sky, so this is interesting because now they're going to be about same difference. Once this chain is complete, then Will go in that slab.
Yep. This is an Earth versus Mirage difference at this point in time.
I mean, Earth, unfortunately, as we've seen, has got those Spectre and Geist packs, so that might hold Will up just a little bit. Where Sky can actually get past quite a bit of Sky pretty easily, except for,
Yeah, there was nothing that seemed to slow Will up in any way, shape, or form. And Sky, he's got his loot, he's in go mode, he's beelining into Earth, he's getting ready. We're each in our final Fiend dungeon. We're literally a Sky versus an Earth away here. Top part of Sky versus the difference in Earth. I mean, the top part of Sky will be a little bit faster, but we're going to be probably within a minute, provided I don't think anyone's going to be doing any extra checks, any extra pickups of spells or anything. We're going to be pretty much a minute from separating Lamenting Temple of Fiends.
Exactly. The only thing we might see is a customary go to Corneria, get some heal pots. That's it.
Yeah, that's about the only thing you need to do is restock on heal pots. Other than that, poof. And this is all about whether can Will manage to get through with this, with the thief being at, I think his thief's probably around level 30 at this point. Versus is there a big roadblock where that 42, either way, that 42 black belt is going to make the revisited Fiend fights so quick.
Now, the interesting thing here in terms of theology is that Will is going to have access to that life where Cheese will likely not even go with the tail and go straight into Topher. So if that red mage takes a wipe, then you don't have access to Cure 4 anymore, which could be a problem. I mean, that looks like pretty much the only thing that I think in relation to how they're playing would really centralize.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm surprised Will's checking any chests whatsoever, even some of the green ones at this point. I don't know what is he hoping to pick up a lucky massa at this point. I guess it's the only thing I could be thinking. Defense sword, that's a good point too. Alligator brat.
Mage is level 26. TAs go 501. Some absorb.
So Cheese is just about to take care of Tiamat here. They're going to be exploded. Oh, it actually survived a punch.
Survive a punch, an unfasted punch.
Yeah, not surviving that one. 111. Yeah, 111.22. And right now, Will's taking on that's 111.22 versus for Will 111.40.
Wow,
6.
So like 24 seconds difference?
Yeah, about 24 seconds. Last minute prep to Carnaria for both, and then they're both going to be heading straight into Topher here.
He's not even getting any heal pots. Shay probably has enough. You're at 70. You're hoping, you're hoping that Red Mage can keep it up. And oh yeah, 92 heal pots. You don't need it.
He's good. So here we go. We've got 112.23. Cheese walks in.
Slimes.
112.32. We got 9-second difference. Here we go. This unfortunately I think Will needed to be the first one in this. This 42 black belt is going to destroy everything it sees. It's gonna. I think Will needs a 3 and 256 to land on Cheese here. Oof.
It does. SDs are runnable.
Now they've come in on different encounter tables here. Will checking the validation chests.
Validation. 4G on
4 gold on each. So and they are definitely on different encounter table here. So that might play into this as well.
Unrunnable so far, which is good to see. For the slime, they both run on slimes.
Yeah, they're on both on different areas though. So
good to know that fires their weakness burn to a crisp.
So just a floor behind is Will. Cheese making his way. Yeah, this is really gonna come down to does something 3 and 256 that black belt on Cheese's side. If nothing does, I don't know what could possibly kill that black belt. There's Kraken 2 would have to be something special. I mean, I've seen it happen where Kraken 2 has hit for 8 hits for 2,000. It can happen. So it's really going to come down to a little bit of RNG here, for sure.
That's very true. But will have to definitely employ a temper. Probably want to pull off a temper. All Cheese needs is the one fast. And if anything's hitting hard, they do have the white shirt. So, maybe just get a stack of white shirt off if the other thief can stay alive.
And that's one of the interesting things here too, is that Cheese has that third character up who can do something like throwing a white shirt in that, but Will doesn't. He's pretty much got to throw fast and temper right away with his 2 characters, and his ability to throw evasion is going to be so minimal.
As we can, so it's definitely already taking, as we can see, taking a little bit longer Will to take care of where something around with Cheese, so
yeah, 3 rounds for Will, where it was 1 punch for Cheese. So both on the fire floor, Cheese has pulled carry. Carry throws out a quad X. Fast goes off before the punch. 19 hits, 23.55. Go back 2,000 more years.
Orders are runnable, which is good to see. And that thief is up. So far, we haven't.
No, nothing. And we know Carrie has somewhere between 0 and 2,355 HP. All right, here's the big one right here. If there's someone who can potentially take care of this and can put a kink into problems, it's Kraken. It's very possible that he reaches out and hits hard. So firing out that white shirt, firing out the fast.
There you go. Ooh.
That is why right there you move that thief to the front. That is great play by Cheese. Meat Shield does its job.
Because I'm telling you, I mean, Cheese definitely employed some Rodney Dangerfield, respect strats. Just Kraken had leg day for sure.
That's bad news for Will, though, because that means if Kraken comes out punch happy like that, someone's dying.
It's on a different part of the, counter table, so hopefully that plays a part. With the pass going off, Tia survived a round. 6 hits, 284. 2 coming out, so that's a free turn. And 19, 10, 41, Dunsies. And you got enough charges, you can burn a Cure Forces. We're going into chaos, people.
So here we go, Cheezinator walking into chaos, got final preparations, gonna move that black belt down to the bottom, smart move, gonna move the ribbon down as well. Smart play here, knowing that as soon as you put something on your absorb goes down the natural absorb, throwing the opal gauntlet on them as well, making sure that everybody's armored up fully. 118-10, here we go, chaos, starting off, throwing out fast and punch. Fast comes off before.
Okay, finally.
20 hits, 1673, done. Get your cheese out and chat for Cheezinator. Take that, chaos. You were a weakling. My goodness.
Didn't even get a chance to commentate it.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what... Man, oh man, Tia 2 just hit for 400 damage. Apparently Tia 2 had stuff, but we never saw it. Wow. That's what a 42 black belt can do. That's... And unfortunately for Will, Tia hit super hard and took him down. And with that, we have the official SRL time for Cheese at 1:18:28, and Will has forfeit out of this. Wow. Fantastic. Let's see if we can get these guys in here for some interview, see if they want to make some comments on this.
This isn't, even though it didn't necessarily work out for Will, all saw how close they were. So it's not to say that, thief strats don't work. Just unfortunately, this time, those sandworms seem to work out. And that definitely makes me reconsider the value of sandworms, because the time, granted, going into Earth would have definitely gotten Cheese more levels. The time that he just throw into those sandworms,
And we've got WillBloodworth joining us here. Will, GG, my friend. So close, my man. How you feeling?
Disappointed as hell, obviously. Should have won black belt. I'm sure he did. I'm 99% certain that Cheese went black belt, grinded to probably 32 at least, if not 42.
He did the full 42.
How close were we during the game?
9-second difference entering Topher.
Yeah, black belt was the difference for sure. Had to be.
I mean, I was just talking about that. It's not to say that your strategy wasn't wrong. It's just this time, Cheezinator very smart play, and he saw sandworms. I think you grinded that to about 24 at first.
About
It
that.
got real estate, and then I could just grinded that thing to 41.
That was smart. Yeah,
And
they needed to.
joining us in here now is Cheezinator as well. Cheese, congratulations on the win. GG.
Thank you. GG, Will. Where in the overall game were you at when we finished up?
T2.
TM at wow. Dang.
Yeah. That broke my heart, dude. That done broke my heart. And then T2 broke my face. So it didn't matter.
We're 9 seconds apart as it going.
Yeah.
Topher.
Yeah.
Holy
Cheese,
smokes.
yeah, you entered 9 seconds ahead in Topher.
Wow.
Cheese, the differentiator for you was the fact that you saw looking for once you went and saw that in Northwest Castle trash tiles, went back to the sandworms. You knew that Earths actually had worms, which served you well. But the fact that you went back to a verified grind tile that made you die off, that actually was a definitive play in this season.
Wow. I thought. I think I thought I had more time to play with after I found like both or two loose early enough and was able to deduce it down to like probably being in an incentive dungeon, and I go moded ice caves and stuff. So like, you must have been just like playing out of your mind, Will. How soon did you find? I guess the Oxiel wasn't in a bad spot for this seed. It's in a bad spot for other seeds because when you have floater and key, it's like not like most people will check TOF key lock.
So here's what happened. I went to TOF to check the key locks. I got mobbed by errors like 3 times. Went in, 4th time got past them. Got I think it was like 4 gold chests, and I said, "Screw this, I'm leaving." I eventually remembered to go back. Thankfully, I would have lost by a hell of a lot more if I hadn't. I went back and I did a little dance in front of TOF after I came out because I'm like, I remembered.
There were 2 very, very interesting things that happened, and one of them was that Oxiel that Will went in. I think he was level 7 or 8, and those ambush airs were giving it to him. However, when he remembered to get that, Will was able to deduce he was in no mode before you. Because Cheese, you didn't clear out the rest of Volcano. If you had gone down, you would have found that there was a loose Thor hammer.
You didn't find the 3rd and set. Oh wow!
No.
Yeah.
And you Galaxy Bring that you wouldn't need it.
Not Galaxy Bring. I mean, it was a 1 in 3 when I had ice and ordeals available.
Oh, that's true.
So I purposefully didn't do any more full clears. I just got chests that were on the way until knocking out the key items. And then if that wasn't loot off the slab chain, then I was going to go finish Volcano, do, Sky or something like that.
Sure. I had 2, I think I had 2 key items that I was sitting on when I went to Ordeals. At least one. I didn't turn in TNT. There might have been a second one that I don't remember, but I turned in Bottle and got the Opal bracelet.
It would have been TNT because everything else was a long fetch quest that led to Power Bonk out of that TNT chain.
Okay. Yeah, I had Saber anyway if I needed it, but no.
Yeah.
I should have rezzed another character or 2 going into Topher that might have made it more survivable, but I still would have lost on time because you dot done before I died, so I wouldn't have gone fast.
Yeah. I guess. In my head, I think I underestimated and didn't think about this until very late, because I was even considering like maybe a last minute promotion just to get a katana swing going. I didn't think of, there is a thief in this party. Tail, Airship, and Katana were early. If someone goes in on a thief carry and Topher is paper, I would actually like lose by the entire length of my grind.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I just kind of felt safe given that the comp was parity, but the way that we would play the comp isn't parity. So actually, you made this way, way, way closer, and I really respect that.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish I had done the black belt grind. Did you find worms in Earth Cave? Because I didn't.
No, I did not see any grinds in Earth Cave.
Did not see any Earth Cave. It was just sand.
Yeah, I was going to go to Earth Cave on the way back from Ruby Turn-In to check tiles, but then Ruby Turn-In was floater or something, or canoe, whichever of the two I didn't have yet, and I was like, well, let's just so let's just get in the air, knock out some really quick towns and key items, and volcano armory, and then go from there. And it turns out volcano armory first spike tile was sandworms, and I've said it so many times. I love my sandwiches. I will eat those all day.
Yeah, they're good. It's good. It's a good early game grind tile to get yourself to like mid-20s if you need it, and that's exactly what I did. It looks like you took that to what, 38, 39?
41 when I left it. It was maybe a level or two too long. But the reason I did that is because I took a grind to like my late teens, went to clean up some key item stuff, found another loose, and I was looking for all the shops to see if there would be red learnable life. Once I saw no red learnable life, I was like, okay, I need 42. I didn't like the no insurance policy plan of going in at 32 with no life casters. So yeah.
Right. The difference, I think, is that you found that grind before I did. You found it and didn't class change. I did class change, and that pretty much set my table for me. Where I was like, okay, it's going to be thief carry instead of black belt carry, and I was prepared to do either one based on what the seed told me. It's like, here's tail, and here's katana.
Yeah, and fast and temper, both ninja learnable, and saber even. So I definitely thought about those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what it comes down to is when you've got a black belt at 32 plus, you've got things running away from you. You can survive more. Your HP pool's higher. You don't need necessarily a temper. Fast makes life incredibly easy by itself. It's just a better character to have as opposed to a class changed ninja with a katana at 10 level deficit.
At the levels, yes. But I think in what I was saying while y'all were racing is seed really does show like Rando's gonna rando, because had you found the sandworm tower earlier, it would have been totally different, Will. So it really just went down to like Cheese just had those two stints, and the first stint allowed him to go into Topher Keylocked and make sure that he could survive the airs. And the airs is unfortunately set you back. So, I mean, look at the time differential, right?
Sure. And what it comes down to is like, if I can't get past tier 2, it's all academic. I had to be able to get past that fight. And with my party comp the way it was, I wasn't gonna. Unless I got 2 meat shields down there the whole way, and I still would have had to do that all faster than Cheese did, and I didn't. So no matter what.
What else was happening in that fight? Because I saw large punches from tier 2, but I think I 3-rounded the fight, 2 or 3 rounded.
2 rounded.
Did it in 2 rounds, I believe. Your first, your black belt hit for 10 hits, and it has some absorb because you swung for 5 hundo, but it didn't go down. But once you got that fast off and you hit, it was down.
He one-shot my red mage before the fast got off. So I think he one-shot my ninja.
Yeah,
one-shot your ninja.
That's what it was. And I'm like, okay, I'll try to ruse, and then turnover. Nope, sorry. That was it.
For some respect though, you did pull out a white shirt for Tia, didn't you? You Cheese?
So my white shirt, I didn't end up actually casting it in Topher other than the one time I put in the command for my thief who then immediately got punched by Kraken. Yeah. I moved the white shirt to my red mage, and the plan was like on Tiamat and Chaos, I would go swing fast and then swing white shirt just to every turn just in case.
Yeah, but when you're punching for 1,000 hit, they didn't live. I mean, you one-shot Chaos. What do you?
Yeah. If Chaos had rolled 230 evade, I maxed out both of the spell slots where locks, where both of the locks would have been. Right. So that's the only way the fight could have gone long.
I made sure I had at least one lock, but I didn't have to use it. It didn't happen. So
I don't think I ever cast a Harm 4 that went off all game, but I took Harm 4 out of level 1 over Lock because the early game has a lot of undead, and if I had to go into Marsh, Harm 4 would have been pretty good. Like,
Not a bad idea.
Makes sense. Plus, y'all didn't know where Provoker or Elfin.
exactly.
Nope. That's why I like doing early town checks when I can. The problem with Town Shuffle is that I could spend 2-3 minutes checking Provoca and Elfon, and it ends up being with Fane and Onrak, and it's like, well, okay, cool. Guess I'm not doing anything.
Speaking of early information, I quickly found out that even though I didn't think they were an aquatic type monster, Kaizokus resist Quake.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Yeah, I learned that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yep. That was like
Chat was giving you guys a little bit of grief for that one.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it's one of those things we both don't think about.
because I lived the FAQ, like I've read it back and forth so many times, but I just assumed based on their sprite, right, rather than their domain, that they would not resist it. So it was just funny.
I was wondering. I'm like, is this gonna work? Because I know they're water, but they're still like people. So is this still gonna not work? Then yeah, sure enough, didn't work. Oh, whatever. This is goofy.
So we'll start with you, Cheese. Both of you, as you guys know, this is a best of 3.
Yeah.
Cheese, you got that. You got that win. How are you feeling going into game 2? And after that, Will, feeling okay about coming from behind here?
So, going into the next game or two, I'm a little skeptical about the draft because I didn't realize that I had this kind of blind spot. I left an opening for a thief carry to outpace the black belt carry, rather like so. I might have to adjust my strategy before tomorrow.
You might want to go fighter red mage instead of the black belt red mage, or maybe throw a third thief in there, or do something goofy, do mage.
I mean, it has to be a comp I'm comfortable winning with, and I mean, everyone I think knows I don't like thieves as my only melee carry, so
Sure.
I think you would have an advantage there.
Yeah, I was expecting you to pull fighter, but I'm like, maybe he'll be cheeky and he'll throw a black belt in there, and if he does, I feel better about my odds because I have comfort with both. I can run a thief carry or a black belt carry very easily, and the problem was I just picked the wrong one. Had I picked the black belt and done the grind when I would have done it, I'm thinking I probably would have pulled it out by like a minute or two. It's really hard to tell, but I mean, as much time as I spent on some of those fiends, like 3 or 4 turn lich 2, multiple turn carry, multiple turn. I'm sure you were like 1 and 2 rounding those fights with your black belt.
yeah.
I was.
Yeah, that would have been that definitely would have come down to about a 1 minute, 2 minute finish between the two of us, and
It really was, from our perspective, sitting there, that for a good chunk of it, when you did not get that Ox Yale, it was like, oh man, Cheese has a big lead.
Yeah,
And then as soon as you redid that, and then you pulled that Thor hammer, it was like, oh boy, here we go. We are off to the races here. And the entire time we're saying, if there's a roadblock, Will's in trouble. But if there's not, these thieves being able to run away and get through this quick, and if he can get through it, it's not going to matter. And it was close.
Had that loose not been useless, had that been the loot, this again, it would have probably been a different game.
On that note, Cheese, I know you said you were gambling there because you hadn't found that one. You're saying it's a 1 and 3. Sweating a little bit when the first one you turn into turns out to be the opal, and you're going, oh boy.
I didn't sweat about that. I sweat after I got slab, because of how the randomizer has been rolling key items versus trash items during this tournament's flag sets. But then as I was on the way back to turn it in, I was like, wait a minute. This slab was behind ordeals. I had an early canoe, and the inner sea had Lefane and Melman. Well, I guess Melman was vanilla. The point is they weren't behind floater. So I was like, oh, if it's not behind floater, there's more chance for the sanity check to have passed the seed with an earlier go mode item. So I actually felt okay about the slab.
I like how you put that logic together on the fly.
Yeah, so we were definitely submissive. Is this, we knew the answer to it at that point, but for you, I was wondering if that was kind of like, oh boy, please tell me I haven't. But, sometimes you got to go with your gut. You made a good distinctive instinct call on that, and it paid off for you. So once again, GG. With that, I think we're going to get to final thoughts. Cheese, we'll start off with you when that's done. Will, give us your final thoughts as well afterwards.
Mhm.
I miss having two mages. The game is a lot harder without them. But this has been just the kind of flag set and draft party for a lot of on-the-fly adjustments. So I hope I can continue to stay on my toes.
Will.
I like my odds in the next game. Like, believe it or not, even after this, and even after it's evident Cheese is a better runner than I am, and it's indisputable. But with the party comp, with the drafting the way it is, and demonstrating that I can keep up, all I need is a break to go my way, and I can win. So I'm confident that a win is far from impossible tomorrow, and I'll keep myself alive in this thing. I'm definitely not quitting yet. I still got a lot of fight left in me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, this a 9-second difference. 9-second difference walking into the final. And for everyone out there wondering, it's tomorrow night. Tomorrow, Friday, May 22nd, 11 p.m. It's on your screen right now. Game 2 between Cheezinator and Will. Cheezinator going to look to close it out. Will, you're going to look to bring this back and give us Game 3. I hope there's a Game 3 because this is a fantastic series. You two are fantastic at this game. You made both incredible plays. Different strategies leading both to an absolutely exciting race. So thank you to your both. Duchess, any last thing from you, my friend?
It's been a great run. Thank both of you. Also want to thank Reese Wolfer for doing our tracking today. Definitely couldn't have got it without you. Want to thank my co-commentator Mars Mueller for co-boy with me. And hopefully I'll be lucky enough to co-commentate tomorrow this race.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you two for coming. It sounds like it was a really great broadcast. I can't wait to watch it back. Thanks to the tracker, restream crew. And thank you to Randomania Networks for having us.
So that's it. Give our Discord a follow if you're interested in looking at that. Make sure you follow Randomania. Make sure you follow our two fantastic runners, WillBloodworth and Cheezinator. My name is Ilmar Zuber-Mueller for my co-commentator, Duchess for Kyle Sama, our tracker, Reese, and Dark Moon, who put on the restream for us today. Everybody behind the scenes bringing this incredible tournament to you. There is a lot more bracket playdowns coming down through this over the next few days. The last games are coming out. This is when we're going to see who's moving on to that Elite 8. Stay tuned and watch it here, both on Randomania, sister stations, all through all of them, and Speed Gaming as well. Thank you all, and have a good night.